a big thing happened. The spring breeze is the spring breeze, very wild. As the old saying goes, the spring wind cracks the slab and cracks the forehead without the hat, said the power of the spring wind. Talking about the coldness throughout the year, in fact, not in the third night or fourth night, but in the late fall and spring after. In the third and fourth night, although everything is freezing, there are always cold cotton jackets and old cotton pants wrapped in the body. And people do not go down to the field, so they do not feel anything. Late fall and spring are not the same. Hands and feet have the things of them. So if the old cotton jackets and old cotton pants tied to the body, it would be inconvenient. Once busy, got sweaty. So people wear inevitably thin. Late fall is not much wind, but when you get up early in the morning or work at night, you see the ground brings the dew of the cold. Fall cold is not moving, but a different kind of biting cold. Early spring is different, mainly the wind. Spring wind is not particularly harsh, however, there is momentum, mainly patience, making every bare branch whistle like howling from morning to night. A good tree sounds like a whole bunch of new widows. The breezing cold of early spring is because of the spring wind messing. The weeds are green again. They are immense and look alive. But when you look closely, even leaf is shivering, and what comes through is still cold. The most fearful thing in spring is frost. As long as there is a spring frost, at most 3 days, there will inevitably be a spring rain. No wonder the old people say, spring frost is not far from rain within 3 days. Although the spring rain is as expensive as oil, that is for the crops. People have to suffer. Rain goes for days, but not well, like fog. Without the strength of pouring, fine and dense pester dew, you cannot escape. The sky and the ground are wet, even the pillow has vapor, making your day dirty and cold. Wang village was filled with water vapor, quite moistened. The wind blew all the time. People went to bed early and got up late. And those who knew how to get by ate only 2 meals a day when they caught such days. This is an old tradition of their forefathers. When the green and yellow can't connect, sleep more, as to carry hunger horizontally is easier than vertically. Since eat less, of course, people slack off. But the pigs in the pigsty suffer. If they are hungry, it is impossible for them to lay down and sleep properly. They will keep shouting. Pig shouting is very difficult to hear, unlike the chicken, chirping joyfully and celebratedly. Also unlike the dog's barking more or less a little bit of peace and quiet, making people peace of mind from afar. Pigs make people annoyed, as all pigs in the world are hungry ghosts cast by fetuses. All day long, they only know crying foal. There was no sun in the sky. There was no moon. It got dark, and Wang village became quiet. It was dark again, and Wang village was quiet again. A big thing happened. Wang Lianfang was blocked in Qin Hongxia's bed without any warning. Wang village was quiet, with only the hungry squeals of boars and sows. At dinner time, the roof of every house was smoking. The cooking smoke entangled in the evening fog. The branches of the tree were like steaming. In fact, it was quite peaceful. Suddenly came the movement. Wang Lianfang and Qin Hongxia together were blocked on the bed. Blaming it on the dumbness of Qin Hongxia's mother-in-law, people said afterward, Qin Hongxia's mother-in-law is a simpleton, really missing a nerve. What are you shouting for? If shouting, what are you shouting about murder for? If Wang Lianfang had met a smart woman, he would have passed, but he met such a stupid woman. Everything was fine when Qin Hongxia's mother-in-law suddenly shouted, "Murder! Murder!" It was moisture in the village, so her shouting voice spread extraordinarily far, exceptionally clear. The neighbors took up their weapons and rushed into Qin Hongxia's patio together. Qin Hongxia's man Zhang Changjun is an artillery soldier in Henan. Last fall in the army, he solved the organizational issue, and about the fall this year, he should be discharged. When Zhang Changjun is not at home, the neighbors usually care Qin Hongxia family well. Since her mother-in-law shouted murder, such a major event, they have to come forward. Qin Hongxia's mother-in-law stood in the center of the patio, unable to catch her breath, and would only point at the window. The window was pulled open by Qin Hongxia's mother-in-law, half open, but the door was covered extremely dead. The patio was full of people. The one with the pole cautiously came to the window, while the one carrying the nail rake was so impatient that he kicked the door open. Wang Lianfang and Qin Hongxia were putting on. Hands were busy, but in vain. Not a single button was buttoned. Although Wang Lianfang could pretend to be calm, he broke the hoop and scattered the boards. He took out the flying horse cigarettes and said, "Smoke. Everyone smokes." How? The situation is very serious. Usually, people give cigarettes to honor Wang Lianfang, but Wang Lianfang still wants to see the brand. Now, Wang Lianfang honors others with flying horse cigarettes. They don't even accept them. The situation is very serious. That night, Wang village was as silent as a mass grave. It really felt like everyone had been killed, all of them. And Wang Lianfang had already arrived in the town and stood in front of the commune secretary's desk. Secretary Wang of the commune was very angry. Secretary Wang usually has a very unusual relationship with Wang Lianfang, but now he slapped the table at Wang Lianfang. "What happened? It's like this! How childish!" Wang Lianfang became soft, and his eyelids drooped, decreasing from head to toe. Wang Lianfang said very carefully, "Maybe let me take the exam." Secretary Wang was furious and slapped the table again. "You vomit shit! Military marriage, active duty, high voltage wires. We need to deal with this lawfully." The situation became more serious. It's not that Wang Lianfang didn't know that if this matter went wrong, it would be dealt with lawfully. But it was fine the first time, and it was fine the second time, and eventually something happened. Now that Secretary Wang personally said that it needs to be dealt with lawfully, the nature of the matter has changed. Secretary Wang unbuttoned his Chinese suit, put his hands on his hips, and pushed the back of the suit with his arms up high. This is the extremely serious look of a leader at a critical moment, even in movies. Wang Lianfang looked at Secretary Wang's back. Secretary Wang pushed the window open and spread his arms out the window. "Everyone has seen it. Tell me, what should I do? What should I do?" The thing happened quickly and was handled quickly. Wang Lianfang was doubly dismissed, and Zhang Weijun was appointed as the new party secretary. This decision was quite wise. The Wangs didn't say anything, and the Zhangs couldn't say anything either.